It's the summer of 1995. I'm stuck in traffic outside of Rome, Italy, and I'm going in the wrong direction. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, I've been on a work assignment for IBM for the past 4 weeks. The plant is outside of a town called Pomezia, Italy, and it's about 40 miles outside of Rome. And the first 2 weeks have been great. Had people with me and an assignee from Italy, so we were out every night finding the best restaurants and enjoying life. Got into Rome for one weekend and saw all the art and architecture there. After those first 2 weeks, the rest of the team went back to the US. And so I was by myself for those 2 weeks. And my trip to the US is coming up on Wednesday. So Sunday, I decided I should probably figure out how to get to the airport. But again, I'm by myself. And I forgot to mention, when the group left, I did drive into the airport in Rome to get my rental car. But at that point, and still true, I don't know how to drive a manual transmission. The only automatic transmission that they had at the rental car company is a station wagon. So I have by far, if not the most super duper car on the road in Italy, I have by far the largest personal vehicle that is on the road in Italy. And people have mentioned that, warned me that driving in Italy could be aggressive, because even the Italians told me that stoplights and red lights and yellow lights, they're advice. They're not really commands. They're just like good advice to follow. But I've been able to handle the traffic from the hotel to the IBM plant, which is pretty straightforward. But I decided on Sunday, I should get out. I should make sure I know how to get from the hotel in Pomezia to the airport in Rome and back, which is mostly a straightforward trip, 40 miles on the divided highway. Enter the first main divided loop around Rome, take that to the west. Airport should be on the right. Reverse that trip, come back to the hotel. Easy afternoon. So I go ahead and start that, and it works like I thought. In fact, it's so easy. I have a pretty basic map next to me, and at this point, this is the first trip I've ever seen a cell phone, to be honest with you. Because at this point, we'd see people in Italy with cell phones, and they would be taking phone calls in the restaurant during dinner, and they'd be answering pronto on their cell phones. First time I've ever seen a cell phone. So I don't have one. I have a minimal map, but I'm thinking I got this figured out. And the trip goes as planned. Take the divided highway to the first loop in Rome, take that to the west. There's the airport on the right. This is good. Except I'd forgotten that this is a weekend in the summer in Italy. And everybody's going to the beach. And when I get out of the airport, I'm not able to get over to make my reverse turn to get back to the divided highway to get back to my hotel. I'm in the flow of traffic continuing going west to the Mediterranean. And I'm not really happy about this. Again, I'm doing this myself. I thought I'm probably a little bit Midwestern in me. I decided I'm not going to talk to anybody that works in Italy to go along with me as a navigator. So I decided I'm going to do this by myself. Well, again, so I'm driving this solo. And as the road traffic continues and I'm getting further and further and further away from where I want to be, I'm beginning to get a little more and more and more nervous. At one point, there's a turnoff for a small town, and I decided to take it to see if I can get directions to understand where I am and where I'm going. At this point, and very fortunate for me, gas is not an issue because the station wagon's full, and Italy still has laws on Sunday where most stores were closed in 1995. So gas is not an issue, but turn off and I go into a park and I was told I need to find somebody. I remember being told I need to find somebody who's younger than me, because typically the younger generation in Italy would know English, or at least have some background in English. My Italian never really got much past acqua di minerale, por favor. I do find a person in the park, and she tells me that I am on the right road. If I continue to take this road, I'll eventually intersect with the main road along the shoreline. I should be able to take that and follow that down to where I need to turn to get back to the hotel. I thank her as much as I can in Italian and continue on, but it's still very thick traffic, very heavy traffic. It's taking a lot longer than I think, and I'm not processing this clearly because I should be thinking that because of the traffic, everything's going to be slower than I expect. So I continue on and finally reach the T to get onto the road along the shore and take that to the left. And as much as I can see from what's going on outside, it is a glorious day. Sky is clear, the water is great, the shore is crowded. There are a lot of people along the shoreline. It is packed. But I'm getting glances out the window as I see this from my right because I'm still focused on what's going on in front of me in the traffic. And I'm turned off the radio, turned up the air conditioning, starting to still feel stressed. I can tell that my shirt is starting to feel it under my armpits, starting to feel like this is still taking too long. I'm by myself. Am I going to get out of this okay? And I've always had some issues with directions, about being directionally challenged to some degree. And so I'm still worried about getting here. Again, the timing all seems off. It all seems like it's taking way too long to get to where I want to be. Even seeing some ruins on the side of the road really don't catch my attention because I'm still focused on trying to get to where I need to get to this turnoff where I need to. And eventually, from what seems like it takes a long, long time, the restaurant that I'm looking for appears on the left, and the traffic has dispersed enough to allow me to make the left turn to get to the hotel. And once to get to the restaurant, excuse me, and when I get to that turnoff and I see the restaurant, I realize that I'm okay. And the trip on Wednesday is going to be okay. Mr. Toastmaster.